Hi, so today Laura and I have a craft for you that you can do by using items that you may already have in your kitchen. And we're sitting outside here in her greenhouse together and filming this little activity, but we have a couple of different recipes for you for doing vegetable prints. So here's some samples of what the prints look like. This one was made with flour and water, and this one here that's still kind of goopy, I'm using a combination of cornstarch and some food coloring, and it gets cooked a little bit so the cornstarch gets very goopy. What you're going to need first is an area to work and some paper for printing on. I have some gloves to keep my hands from getting stained from the food coloring. The paper here is white drawing paper. You could also use construction paper that you just buy at the drugstore or even the grocery store. I have some interesting vegetable shapes, which I will show you how we're going to use them for printing. And then your ingredients for making the paint include the cornstarch, iodized or regular salt, some sugar, a saucepan, a cup measure for measuring water, some food coloring, a paintbrush, and I have some containers to store different paint colors in that I've already made. So you can see here, I'm set up to work. I've already made my paint. I've already mixed it up. And I'd like to show you just how simple it is. Basically, we're measuring 1/2 cup of cornstarch, putting it in the saucepan, 4 tablespoons of sugar, also putting it in the saucepan, and then we are adding 2 cups of very cold water. And the reason we use cold water is because we don't want the cornstarch to start getting all globby. We want it to just mix very easily with the cold water and the sugar. Then we add just a little pinch of sea salt. And we don't add our color until after we have cooked this. So we're mixing up all our ingredients in the pan, and then we will put it on the stovetop and we'll cook it, stirring for less than 10 minutes. It should really set up fairly quickly. Once I have cooked my cornstarch mixture, you'll see that the paint actually becomes quite solid. It's no longer water with powder in it. It has set up the starch and it has become a very pliable and also colorful paint with the addition of food coloring. And the reason I've used food coloring is because it's safe for us to have on our skin if we do get it on us, and it's also safe to eat, of course. Now I've picked out a variety of vegetables that have interesting shapes. I have an artichoke that's been cut in half to reveal the inside and all of these pretty leaves. I have a carrot that I can use the end of, or I can cut it lengthwise and make a long stick-like shape. I also have broccoli that I have cut down the middle so that it lays flat on the paper. I have several of those. And I also have cauliflower, likewise, cut to look like a little tree. This one has yet to be cut, but maybe it would be fun to see what we can do with the top of it. This is a pepper that's been cut in half, revealing the inside, and more of these other vegetables. I also have paint trays that I can set my vegetables in after I have gotten them covered with paint.
So there's another type of homemade paint that you can make using flour. It's 1/2 cup of flour with half a cup of salt and a half a cup of water. And you just mix it into a bowl and stir it up. And then you get it to the consistency you want. This is a little bit thicker than it started out because it's dried a little bit. It's also kind of cold. And I just kept it white because I love that color on this dark blue background. Reminds me of snow, so it's a great thing to do for winter. But you could add color to it, and I did add some food coloring that you can buy at the store to this, and it made this nice red color. And you know, it's not as strong as a color as say a store-bought paint, but it's not bad. So you can see some right here using that red color. That was an artichoke.
I have an onion, and this is using the flour and water and salt. Which I think when it's thicker, it also makes Play-Doh, doesn't it, Laura? I think that's the same recipe for Play-Doh.
Maybe with some cream of tartar or cornstarch, actually.
You can kind of see the onion shape on there. Sort of the trick is not getting too much paint, but just enough. Let's see what happens with this one. This would be a fun activity to do with children too.
Ooh, that's pretty.
They'd really like to.
Tree cookie or a fingerprint.
A
giant's fingerprint.
Kids like to make messes with food, don't they? I mean, I guess we adults like to too if we're allowing ourselves to be kid-like. Nope, that one was goofy.
I like that.
It was a mixture of colors. Well, what do you think?
That one's beautiful. Look at that. It looks like a baobab tree to me.
Now that it had less color on it.
Yeah, sometimes stamping it the second time or third time.
Maybe that's the trick. It's not having too much stuff on it.
It's less goopy.
Yeah.
Let's see how that green pepper turns out.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm careful painting it on here. Gonna have to have a stir fry for dinner, Laura. We'll go wash all these veggies.
A very salty, colorful stir fry.
Well, it's true. We wouldn't have to waste them. I don't know if those seeds are going to show up. I don't think they will, but I'll give them a little bit of a chance. They sure are pretty. Whoop. Ooh, I like that. Let's do that one again.
Kind of a shamrock shape.
Actually.
So this is a good thing to do when your veggies are starting to maybe go moldy or in the fridge or a little bit soft, and
you don't want to
throw them away. You can use them for block prints.
So there's a real variety of shapes.
Yeah.
You can kind of pick and choose. You could do all kinds of things. You could actually even cut the carrot the other way, down the side, down the lengthwise, and then you could have long carrot shapes. Or green beans or peas. There's any number of things. You know, peas in the pod make an interesting shape.
So those are really beautiful colors, and those are that's made with homemade paint. And maybe just to do a side by side, this is using tempera paint bought from the store.
And then you carve these shapes in a potato.
Right. Yeah, and then I think the other colors were a carrot. Stamped all over. If you turn it this way, yeah, I think somebody was making a tree out of it, a fall tree. But yeah, so even those colors are a little bit more intense. These colors are so beautiful and almost a little more natural looking, aren't they?
They are. I really like it, and I'm wondering if there's, like, what would you do with this paper when you were done with making this, Laura? What would be your
I
idea?
think I might cut it up into squares and use it as a card or like a gift tag.
I'm going to take the vegetables off there so you can see the shapes. The colors are so nice together. I really love that.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Pretty.
Very nice. So there's an activity for you to do at home without having to go out and buy paint. Any last words?
I think it would make a really nice wrapping for a gift that had food inside of it, perhaps, or you could line a basket, then and have a variety of beautiful vegetables or fruits inside it when this dries.
Yeah, good idea.
Have fun.